Do I still have my what? I have in-laws, but they aren't staying with us. My parents are. My parents left before last Shabbat. They had to go to a celebration of life. That's what I'm going to call it. And so they left. My in-laws, though, are here through Passover. Yeah. My parents were at the Pan. They were in the Florida beaches. But no, they are back in Columbus. Apparently narrowly escaping a tornado, it sounded like yesterday. It was like right next to my parents' neighborhood. So, the whole I was flying back yesterday from Philadelphia because my Shabbat shalom, everyone. I heard like two of you, right? We're going to try it again. So great for us to be together. We're going to try that one more time. I'm going to wish you a Shabbat shalom. You can wish it back to me. You can wish it to each other. Let's just wish each other a day of peace. Shabbat shalom. I appreciate that, Isaac. Lots of ruach. Do you remember what ruach means? No. Spirit. So great that we're able to be together for what is our last Erev Shabbat service in this space before we celebrate and dedicate our new space next week. As we enter together for Shabbat, let us pause and think about all of the wonderful things going on for us in the past week, in the coming week. Anybody have something that's just great happening in their life they want to share to begin our services with joy?
We got our air conditioning.
Air conditioning fix.
We had 3 units and 3 units were out.
That is like don't buy a lottery ticket, right? Like, I don't even know what else to say. All 3 went out at the same time.
Yes, and they were fixed when you left the town from South Jersey.
Sending you strength and cool weather until they're all fixed. At least it's now and not like July. Isaac, do you want to share something? Something like good? Yeah. What's something good?
Something good is that I get to be with y'all. And with family. Actually, one of you. God, that's what
I appreciate that. I'm happy you're here as well. Nice. Anybody else, something good that's happened recently?
Yeah, I got to see my parents last weekend.
Wonderful.
97 a couple weeks.
In Tennessee? No, not Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee? Okay.
We celebrated my cousin's bar mitzvah last week in
Nice.
New York.
In New York? Nice.
Good event.
Did you eat good bagels and pizza? I feel like that's my obligation to ask if you were
I
in
did
New
not.
York. You did not. No bagels with Kiddush luncheon. Okay.
Oh, we did have bagels.
Mazel tov. Wonderful. Anything else? While you're thinking of things, I will share. I just returned. I was going to say yesterday, but it was actually this morning because it was after midnight. From being away this week to be in Philadelphia at the CCAR, which is the Central Conference of American Rabbis conference. You'll hear a little bit more about it when I speak later on, but just so great to be together with about 450 Reform rabbis from all over and from Israel, and it was quite lovely, but I'll save the rest of that till I talk later. Anything else that's been joyous for anyone? Well, I'll let you continue thinking about the joy in your lives. As we enter Shabbat, I invite you to open up your prayer book. There should be prayer books where you are sitting, the thick blue book in front of you, to our Shabbat candle blessings, page 120 and 121. If we need to move some blue books around, let me know. I'm going to invite Sherry and Gus, and who else is joining? Is Rebecca coming up? Is Isaac coming up? The whole mishpacha. Only one left behind. You don't want to join your family? And we are on page 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. And the brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
What, someone wants to light? It does take a minute. You okay? Shabbat. Let us continue with a prayer of gratitude as we read together page 126. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Let us continue welcoming Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi, page 138 and 139. We will sing together with the chorus in between verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to that 9th and final verse, if you are comfortable doing so, I'll invite you to rise, to face the door, so we can metaphorically greet Shabbat, just like we greet a guest in our home. So let us sing Lecha Dodi, page 138. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, hishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet ve'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'maksheva techila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, Kiva orech kumi uri, 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 shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alaich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Panei Shabbat nekabela. I invite you to rise and turn and face the door. We are on verse 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvesohola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekavela Lecha dodi likrat kala yalalai 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 Panei Shabbat nekavela. Before you take your seats, I invite you to wish someone a Shabbat Shalom, preferably someone you didn't drive here with, preferably someone you're not having dinner with afterwards. Greet someone with a Shabbat Shalom. After you take a moment to greet someone, I invite you to head back to your seats and you may be seated. Let us continue the theme of welcoming as we welcome the ministering angels of Shabbat with the words of Shalom Aleichem, page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem L'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Who still has a task, either on your to-do list or on your mind, from this past week that you did not complete? I imagine many of our hands are in the air. Whether that was something personal, whether that was something for your family, whether that was something for work or helping a friend, we always enter Shabbat thinking about all the things we have yet to do. I'm going to give everyone, myself included, permission to let those things live somewhere else for the next 24 hours. Shabbat is a time where we pause, and I think it's really important in this world to have that reminder that somebody needs to hit the pause button for us. So I invite you to figure out how to do that for yourself. Maybe take a deep breath, inhale the wonderful things you accomplished this past week, and exhale all the worries of the things we still need to do aside. And let us transition into these moments of prayer, into this day of Shabbat, for rest, for joy, and for peace. We enter our transitional piece of liturgy, page 144. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael Bagala, bagala U'vizman karib ve'imeru Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam Olam Me'almaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, Barichu, Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma ve'imeru. As we turn the page to page 146, I invite you to please rise. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. You may be seated. Let us read together at the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Let us continue together, page 150. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. As we turn the page and find the words of Shema, I invite you to rise if you wish. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. We continue chanting together, page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol avavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha, vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, beshivtecha bavetecha, uvleftecha vaderech, uvshokbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beineinecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kidoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzetzi etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem. Emet. Let us read responsively, middle of page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we were named as forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day. Page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, o seifele, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Let us read together page 161 in the middle. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 162. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz, v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. thing that pops in your head? Yeah.
God making the world.
Which you might not know has a big connection to this week's Torah portion, actually. Yeah. Anything else pop into anybody's head? Gratitude, thankfulness. That's right. You said very similar things, synonyms of each other. Beautiful. I didn't hear you. Hope. Beautiful. Love. When we come together to pray, many of us focus on the set prayers that we have in our prayer books. Some of us focus on the things we are grateful for or thankful for, the healing that we need, the love that is in the world. I promise you that whatever you're thinking in these moments of prayer, somebody else in the room is thinking something different. And that's the joy of being able to pray together. We can have keva, our set prayers in our prayer book, at the same time as having our own kavanah, our own intention for that moment. The challenge is trying to bring the two together. In a moment, we're going to enter our Amidah, which is our central portion of our evening prayers. We'll chant together words that have been passed down from generation to generation and which connects us to Jews all over the world. Many of us will chant them the same way as our neighbor. Many of us might chant them differently than our neighbor. But all of our voices will come together as one in prayer. I mentioned at the beginning of services, I was just at a conference with 450 rabbis. Whatever you're thinking in your head right now of what happened during prayer, it happened. 450 rabbis singing the same words, almost the same way. And that's the beauty of our prayers. We can pray together and be saying the same words, or even just sitting there listening to the words around us, and have our own intention, our own kavanah, take us to a place of gratitude, of love, of thankfulness, of hope, of joy. I invite you to find that place now as we enter our Amidah. We begin on page 164, and we will continue on the following pages, and I invite you to please rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufiyah tekilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. Ve'emanata l'chayotako. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh ha'akol. Atah kadosh l'shimcha kadosh. V'kadoshim b'kol yom hallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh. I invite you now to continue with your own prayers, either the words of the pages until page 180, or just the words you have in your own hearts this evening, and I invite you to be seated whenever you wish. Oh, say shalom bimroma, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. As we pray for shalom, as we pray for peace, many of us in this room might be feeling that sense of peace. But we know there are those with us in the sanctuary, of our friends and family, our community, and across the world, who are having a little bit more trouble finding their peace. And maybe it's because they suffer illness of body, illness of spirit, or illness of mind. So let us turn our prayers now to those in need of healing. Our UJCBR prayer for healing can be found on page 371. As a community, we think of Joy Lewis, Minna Bat Yentl, Mordechai Ben Dina, Anna Carlo, Judy Roheim, Frida Tamaro Bat Liba Bela, Manucha Pesa Bat Cherny Umosha, Gretchen Haynes, Ruby Smolinski, Jennifer Casson, Storm Matthews, Terry Stern, Judith Von Bretnell, Kaylee Barron, Zisel Bat Yentl, David Berman, Harvey Schwartzberg, Maxine Cohn, David Leek, Barbara Stockner, Janet Gerwich, Danielle Riker, Buddy Ben Margarita, Laura Swire, Susan Wasserman, Nevin Rose, Edie Bernard, Cindy DeMarco, Sheldon Rawson, James Stockner, Vicki Jenkins, Steve Ginsberg, Yitzchak David Ben Chana, David Ben Elva, Jolben Mildred, and Elizabeth Clubb. If there are others you are thinking of in need of healing, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you to do so. For the names we heard aloud, those who we hold in our hearts, and those in need of healing in Israel, let us offer these prayers of healing. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Like I've shared already tonight, I just returned from the Central Conference of American Rabbis Convention. It was a 5-day opportunity to be with colleagues in dialogue, in learning sessions, in prayer, and so much more. Reform rabbis from all over North America and 15 of our colleagues from Israel gathered to focus on the hot topics of today. Israel was, of course, at the forefront of our program, but we also explored criminal justice reform, climate change, the new Reform Torah commentary, tech studies, professional development, relationship building, networking, being in dialogue when we disagree, and across generations, and so much more. I serve with a small group of rabbis on the planning committee for the convention. We have been working for over a year to bring this past week to fruition. And now that it has come and gone, I feel uplifted, I feel energized, I feel conflicted, I feel exhausted, but most of all, I feel a sense of pride in our work. When something we have been working hard on comes to an end, we simultaneously move on to our next big project and celebrate our success. This week in Torah, we read about a big project coming to an end for our ancestors. What's that project? We've been reading about it for a while. Yes, the completion of the building of the Mishkan, or tabernacle. In this concluding section of Exodus, we read, "And when Moses saw that they had performed all the tasks as God had commanded, so they had done, Moses blessed them." Scholars ask the question, what was this blessing? Because it's not written in the Torah. What words could possibly be said to congratulate the Israelites on building that sacred space? Rashi teaches in his commentary on this verse, Moses said to them, May it be the will of God that the Shekhinah, God's presence, rest upon the work of your hands, and let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish the work of our hands upon us. Seems like such a simple blessing. Blessing the work of our hands. But in this moment, for our ancestors, it held so much power for the community. As we all know, we too are completing a big community project. Like I said earlier, tonight is our last Friday night Erev Shabbat service in this space. So what are the blessings we want to give each other, like Moses gave the people? I'm going to invite you to indulge me for one moment. And I knew Isaac would do this. Does anybody actually have an answer for right now? What are the blessings we want to give each other, like the blessing Moses gave to the people? You have an idea?
We give each other blessings for coming and helping celebrate this last day here to tell God how special it is, but we're going somewhere else and we have a special last day at it. And we are very happy that people that came to celebrate and share.
Beautiful. Beautiful. When you want to apply to rabbi school, call me. Yeah?
May each person have a happy transition from this place to the next.
Beautiful. Any other blessings we want to give to each other?
May everyone be able to find peace, shalom in the new place.
That's wonderful. Didn't know if you were going to such a beautiful moment or to, I think another blessing might be, may everyone find their seat. Any other blessings we want to give to each other? The Torah portion concludes the tabernacle construction project with these following words. When Moses had finished the work, the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the presence of the Lord filled the tabernacle. When the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the Israelites would set out on their various journeys. But if the cloud did not lift, they would not set out until such a time as it did lift. For over the tabernacle a cloud of the Lord rested by day, and fire would appear in it by night, in the view of all the house of Israel throughout their journeys. This building, the Mishkan, was the vehicle by which God led the people on their journeys. And of course, today we do not have a Mishkan, but today we have synagogues. When you visit our new building, you will see and learn about how the design of the sanctuary is modeled after the biblical Mishkan. And just like the Mishkan was the dwelling place for God amongst our biblical ancestors in the desert, the synagogue is the place through which God becomes manifest in our world today. The purpose of the synagogue is to bring holiness to our lives and goodness to the world. Long ago, the rabbis created this idea of a synagogue out of a need because the temple had been destroyed. It is a place to gather, learn, and pray. It is a place to heal, comfort, and uplift our lives. It is a place to build relationships and bring community. So let us, in the completion of our community project, receive blessings from each other, just as the Israelites received a blessing from Moses. Let the work of our hands bring the Shekhinah, God's presence, into our Baton Rouge Jewish community. And may we use our synagogue as a vehicle to bring God into our lives and help guide us on this communal journey. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. We're going to turn now to our prayer book for our concluding prayers. If any of the kids in the room want to come on up and help me, you get to decide if you're putting yourself in that category. I'm going to guess if you have not become bar or bat mitzvah, if that might be in your future, you should come join us. Ben doesn't want to. You'll get candy out of the deal afterwards. You don't have to do anything except for help open and close the door. You do not need to. Okay. You can help? You're fine. Okay, let's go up. As Isaac and Rebecca open up our ark, we are on page 586, and I invite you to please rise. Page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo You may close the ark. You may be seated. Are you okay with the candy? As our prayers draw to a close this Shabbat evening, we turn our thoughts to our loved ones who are no more. Tonight, we think of those who passed away during the past year. Stephen Zuckerman, Erwin Shabe, Jeannie Samuels, Robert Berenson, Stacy Summer, Alvin Mykoff, John Carlson, Ruth Ann Miller, John Roheim, Barry Burton, Shirley Judge, Betty Simmons, Lee Kaplan, Jo Ann Bender, Leonard Knackman, Rowan Hausman, Maureen Corcoran, Lucy Silva, and Larry Zachem. We also think of those who died at this season in years past and whose family members are observing the Yortzeit, the anniversary of death, on this Shabbat. Phil Berlin, Joseph Browds, Jack Brooks, Sammy H. Brown, Joseph Edelman, Rabbi Abba Meir Feinberg, Sidney Johnson, Sarah Weil Cantro, Gus Levy, Lulu Levy, Michael Roth, and Lillian Schlopek. If there are others you are remembering this evening, if you'd like to share their names aloud, I invite you. For the names we heard aloud, those whom we hold in our hearts, and those who've lost their lives to war in Israel, let us offer these prayers of Mourner's Kaddish, page 598, and I invite you to rise if you wish. Yit gadol v'yit kadash shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma divrach Yerutev yamlich malchute, V'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dekol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulamei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei tekudasha barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. O say shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May all their memories be for a blessing, as together we say. You may be seated. I'm going to invite Julie, representing our board, to share some announcements. Thank you, thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Shabbat. Thank you for joining us tonight for services. We welcome everyone. Tomorrow morning, there will be Torah study in the social hall and on Zoom at 9:30, Minyan in the green room at 10, services in the sanctuary and on YouTube at 10:30. Tomorrow night, there will be a Havdalah service on Zoom hosted by the Saxe family at 5:30. If you would like to help sell parking spaces for our parade spectators tomorrow at the Kleinert Building parking lot, please reach out to Mitch Rayner. On Sunday, the Jewish Book Club will be meeting at 1 o'clock. Join us next Friday night to celebrate Shabbat and dedicate our new sanctuary. Services will be at 6 o'clock with an oneg sponsored by the Sisterhood, with a bar provided by the Brotherhood, and it will which will immediately follow this special service. On Saturday, the Shabbat and dedication celebrations continue with a 10:30 morning Shabbat service, a 4 o'clock Purim carnival hosted by the religious school for our entire community, and a 5:30 Havdalah moment that will be immediately followed by a celebratory Purim party. For more details about these events and more, please go to our website or refer to the weekly announcements. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Do you want some candy?
Yes.
Some chocolate?
Thank you. I'll take one for Aura, too.
Please, please. It's a way to add even more sweetness to Shabbat, right? Those who know me well already know that I always have candy somewhere, whether it be on the bima or in my office. Soon that will have to get packed up and moved to the other office, but it will be there. Let us close out tonight's service before we join together for Kiddush and Motzi on page 625. As we sing Adon Olam one last time in this space, a version and a song which I am sure has been sung over the many years this space has been a prayer space, more times than we can all count, because it is definitely an oldie but a goodie. Let us bring joy and peace to this moment. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, B'chefsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol, Livado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hoveh, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Ve'hu Echad, Ve'ein Sheni, Lehamshilo Lehachbira Adon Olam, Ve'li Reshit, Ve'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamisra Adon Olam, Ve'hu Eli, Ve'chai Goali, Ve'tzor Chevli Be'et Sara Adon Olam, Ve'hu Nisi, Umanosli, Menat Kosi Be'yom Ekra Adon Olam, Be'yado Afkid Ruchi, Be'et Ishan Ve'ayira Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi, Gaviati, Adonai li Ve'lo ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, B'chefsa Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. I invite you to turn back in your prayer books to page 123, where you find our Shabbat evening Kiddush. Going to invite up the Cantro family. Are we all coming up? The more the merrier. Maybe we're not all coming up. Ben, you're not getting out of this one at least. Going to invite, who's uncovering and picking up our Kiddush cup for us? Francis, go for it. I'm going to invite everybody else to please rise. You guys can face them. You don't have to face me, but hold that Kiddush cup in the air, and we will all join together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho ve'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. L'chaim. Someone can take a sip. Does someone want to? I I don't know what's in it. It's probably wine. I'm guessing it's real wine. What? Okay, Ben, are you in front of the challah? Will you uncover it? Beautiful. And then somebody, Meg, do you want to pull up that tray for us? But again, you can face them. You don't have to face me. Since the three of you go to camp, should we do the camp version, like the full-on camp version, which means I'm going to invite anybody who's comfortable to come closer, and we can touch someone who's touching the challah, or reach out to the person touching the challah. I'll do it like this, and we're going to join together. Pretend, watch from the fire, please. Thank you. Like that beautiful logs on fire. And let's pretend we're in the dining hall, but it's a little less swamp-like. But let us join together. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. If you'd like to put that down if you are a holiday particular. Anybody else who wants to come get invited, challah to come out as well. Shabbat shalom.
Awesome at being a rabbi. Good job. You did your job.
I appreciate that.
You did
What am
your
I
job.
watching? Isaac dances like that too. Ah.
No, I didn't dance like that.
Nice job with the high fives for the art. Do you want some challah? Oh yeah, Cantrell family, candy time.
Right?
Are you a good big cousin?
Yeah. I take care of her.
You take care of her? See you at the new place.
Can I help you?
I am good.
Okay.
But thank you for offering.
Do you ever take candy for yourself?
Sometimes. Sometimes. He's fine. Shabbat shalom. No, we still get to do Torah study tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. It's a different semester. We're not changing, just our spaces.
there. It's about reaching out to people and very inclusive. And the rabbi's son was like in his 20s, and I felt that as well, because she was very big with the students. Like once a year, he would take us on a trip to Crown Heights, go to the bakeries and stuff like that. It's interesting. Going to a full-size kosher supermarket where they put it in minion cups on the seat. Much different than kosher catering is great, but it's not. It's not like New Jersey, New York, where you have Albertsons size. Yeah.
know,
I'm just so used to the
I want
doorway.
all the tradition of the,
Which, so this one, I was told that this, like, fits
Yeah, it does.
into the Bima.
It
So
does.
if you're not using the Bima, it doesn't work.
that's right, but we're gonna take the beam with us all.
I don't think so. We have, like, there's a place for you in the new place that you're,
So,
we
what
built a
do
new
we use?
Bima.
What do you use
For what, the chuppah?
for the hook?
We were gonna get a new one, but then it won't be the same one.
No, and that doesn't fit in?
There's no, the slots or whatever for the Bima aren't on the new Bima.
Well, I'll have to talk to, Brimson
But
about
there's-
that and tell him what I think about it.
You said him, so Chris, not Trula?
But True Up, yeah,
Oh, and
both of
Trula,
them,
I'm sure.
both of them.
So since you seem to know that my funny story, I'm in a meeting like months after I've gotten here, and, that they're both there, and Trula says something, and I'm literally like, my mind is blown, I'm like, you guys married to each other? It took me months to like realize that after all these meetings I was in with the two of them.
Most people do to Steve and I, people don't realize Steve and I are married either. And we came tonight because I have emotional attachment to this building.
I
And he,
there are a lot of the people who,
Steve does too, but I'm the one that said, we're going to Temple, next Friday night, he goes, no. I said, why not?
yeah.
He said, why are we going? I said, it's the last night, we're gonna be here.
I'll be interested to see who comes tomorrow morning, because some of the people that have been talking to me about, like,
He's gonna make money for the temple tomorrow.
which, thank you.
Yeah.
Give
He
my
said
husband
the
a hard
year-
time, who's going, I don't know, maybe through the hardest temple, but he's taking a land on it. So it doesn't,
So
it's
it
not
doesn't
gonna fit into the Bima,
So where's the cover for it then? Where's the cover for it? So is that not gonna fit? That's it. Is that not gonna fit the new,
we can make holes that fit, this fits.
okay.
It's just like 4 holes. Did you, but so in reality, could we use this? Yeah, but we probably have to figure out how to,
Yeah,
or you'd have to
we-
like a real traditional,
Steve
get
and
4
I
people to
put
be
it
foot
down.
holders and have people holding it.
No, I want people holding, it,
Yeah.
getting away.
Yeah.
I wanna be able to see the rabbi
Yeah.
and.
But so the new Bima though, it is,
I'll have to take a look.
it
at
has a
next
step
week.
up, it
Yeah.
has, and there's a part that, comes out, and like and then it's big, but so my vision, my guess would be, let me say, is for a wedding, that you put it on the part that
See,
comes out.
there's gonna be more Catholic Christians probably at the wedding, and there's gonna be Jewish. I don't even know how many people are gonna be at the wedding yet, because I've got nothing. Yes, it fits down in the,
Those fit into the,
into this,
into
into the beam.
Yeah, there's nothing in that, but we'll make,
like I said, we can use,
make a base or something.
use these pots.
I have to decorate that with some greenery.
But I mean, it's still,
Are you, gonna use the florist?
Yeah, I use,
They'll do it for, like,
Yeah.
my wedding, we got married in that, cause, like, there were more people from New York than there were from Columbus, so we got married, and so we got, to make it easy, so we didn't have to figure out transportation, we got married in a hotel. And, our florist, like,
she's gonna be married at the temple, and, the reception's gonna be at the city club.
nice. I think big, beautiful space for.
I didn't give her an option.
We can definitely have center aisle.
Yeah, I mean, when they built this place, I said,
You can
I'm
tell me
looking-
how you want the chairs.
I looked at it when I was over there back in January, and I told Linda Posner, who builds a temple without a middle aisle? And I said it to all of them, and I was the only Gentile that said
So
anything.
in my renovation, my previous place, we definitely had a middle aisle and movable chairs, but, most of the weddings I did actually were at the country club in Missouri, not at our synagogue, only a few of the synagogue, but the doorway didn't align with the aisle. So, like, the few times we had someone who was gonna walk down a center aisle, you walk in, you go, you had to go like, cause it was round also, like this, and then walk down your center aisle. It was big, not that big of a deal, but the doorway, I think they even thought about in the renovation, moving the doorway, but the engineering and cost to do that was prohibitive.
And Steve will probably kill me for saying this. You know what else bothers me about this temple? You see that door? There hadn't been a human being until tonight that closed that door, except those children.
Isaac's pretty good at it, but he's here a lot, I will say.
But
The
it's
adults are
different.
not good.
That looks like Sanford and Son. Who put something like that? That looks like, you know what Sanford and Son is? Oh, all his junk that he had on a wall that he was selling, that's what that looks like.
I think-
You learn that
I
by
think the
putting that up
woodworker
there.
who did our new one also, I think it's the same guy, Ford. I will say the new one looks nothing like that, and there are no.
Yeah, I told him, I said, that's the first thing that's gotta go. I told Remsen and them about that.
Ford. So Ford did the like vessel, and then an artist named Larkin, that Lauren Von Bet introduced us to, did what is basically artwork, did the doors. And the cool thing, you know how these like go like that? These doors, it's like a little handle here, and the mechanism is just a slide.
Yeah.
So you just do that, but the doors stay facing forward. So you don't lose power, it's really nice. But yeah, Ford designed the woodworking of the art, and also the new,
And I love
table.
this, top, yeah, the Jerusalem top. I priced it for my house, I couldn't afford it.
There's some tile in the new sanctuary, I don't know if it was down there when you got in there, it's
No,
not,
no, it
it's
was
much
wrong.
bigger.
It was wrong.
It was still concrete, yeah.
It was wrong.
Well,
We'll figure it
It
out.
looks very, very different, and then, I mean, we have months to experiment
And I have to
and-
tell you that as long as we've known Rabbi Barrett, he married Stephen and I,
Yeah.
but Alyssa wanted to make sure that we asked you to be there because she's come to, three of the services with the rabbi when she's been here, when she's been out of school.
I'm sure it's from the moment when you were on the Bima with me and then somebody was being escorted out and nobody knew but you on the Bima, right? Like, I didn't know, really, I mean, I knew
Oh, I
something
knew
was
what was
happening, but it
going
was
on.
like right in front of you, right?
Who,
So,
me?
it's that, she bonded, right? But she was not happy during that.
Oh, no, she was not happy that she thought, and she was worried about me.
Because she left you back there. Yeah.
Because she thought the guy was, and I said, Alyssa, I take people out every day. I know how to take somebody down. There it
That's how they
is.
go.
Yeah.
The new,
But
the new
I
Bima
want
does not
people-
have,
Now, the Bema is much higher up.
It
than
is not.
this is.
it is not. The new Bima is very similar to this.
No, but I mean, it's up, it's up, and I don't, when people go to when they go to the country club, or when they go to wherever they get married, it's usually on the ground.
Yeah, I did it
And you can't see, and people are trying to hear what you as a rabbi are saying, or the preacher that's there, and I want it to be up, and that's what I told him.
Did a wedding in November that was, it was gorgeous. It was in Fall Creek, Tennessee. It was gorgeous, and her father made the chuppah, but not only, I mean, it was a smaller wedding, I'll say that, but it was outside, and it was beautiful overlook with waterfalls behind us. But not only was I not raised, they chose not to mic me either.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, I'm pretty loud, but I'm sure that there were people who could. Anybody was hard of hearing, they didn't hear me. But, yeah, it was far enough away that it didn't drown me out, but yeah, there are, I've done, like, I did a wedding in New Jersey at the synagogue, which did not happen often, and that bima was like you had to walk up a bunch of stairs. It was like the old B'nai
So what
Bima.
happened to the doors?
They are the entryway to the new gathering hall, which is the back half of the old social hall.
I don't know that top piece comes off.
I don't think it does.
I'll look at it Sunday, but I'm not.
You talk about